Okay, hello everyone. Tonight we're looking at the Corona Team Buffalo Leg Team Battle, something like that. It is the Corona Chess War, but in bullet format. So we're very excited to see the tournament in bullet format finally. And I'll just send out a challenge, a bullet challenge, quickly to this Mr. Grandmaster that is joining us. So I'm not playing this tournament myself, but I want to see if this man wants to join us for a game quickly before the tournament starts. This great Grandmaster. In any case, it doesn't seem like he will. And while we wait for that, I'm just actually sending the university battle link to my own uni. Okay, I'll send out a new challenge to someone else. I don't think he will be accepting. Um, okay, he's not accepting. So let's try a different player. Still more than 2 minutes to go. Maybe Kenny will. He's not online. Cool's name is C's not online. Loazi's online. Uh, let's quickly challenge him to a game. No, that is not what I wanted to do. Don't know if he's going to accept the challenge right now. We can make it a 30 seconds challenge, maybe. Oh no, Lichess isn't allowing me to send out more challenges than one. Let's see if we can send a quick challenge there to Wazi, who's a strong player in the SA Online group. Oh, he only accepts challenges from friends. Okay. Paradox. Who else is here that might accept a quick challenge? I think Boomer Remover might quickly accept a 30-second challenge. Quickly play a 30-second game against Mr. Boomer, James Dinham, before the tournament starts. A minute to go. He's in the game. Great stuff. Okay. Let's quickly play a 30-second game just to warm him up for the tournament. He's not such a renowned bullet player, but this is actually an extremely fast time format, 30 seconds. And just getting myself going as well over here before I commentate. There's a Grandmaster in the house, which I'm pretty excited about. 30 seconds is insane, so we're not going to be playing the greatest chess ever. Maybe I should just quickly try and make a draw. Get the perpetual in here. He can't capture that pawn, so let's break through. Oh no, he's just stopping that idea. And we'll capture like this. Try and move over here. And oh, okay. I actually pre-moved that. That was bad. Let's throw in this little check as well. And okay, so it's a battle of the clocks now. 10 seconds to go. Okay, he's got another queen there. Oh, I'm just playing terribly. Okay. 6 seconds though. For a normal bullet game, this should just be one for him. But let's just try and play quickly. Ah! I'm gonna get flagged. It's gonna end in mate. Oh, well done. Okay. And I think the tournament is just started. Thanks, Mr. Boomer. James Denham for that warm-up game. And let's see what. Okay, the Wolf is in the house, obviously. Buffalo City are having the Wolf as well, represent them. But let's start off by watching what the Grandmaster gets up to. Konstantin Tarlev playing for Buffalo City and playing against Nightmare 101. There's 1 second increment to this bullet format, so that 1 second kind of really just changes the ball game a lot. It's not a clean bullet. Don't take the pawn. Bishop will be hanging. I'm thinking the GM might berserk some players, but it seems like he's not going to just berserk anyone. Konstantin Tarlev. I don't know who this guy is. We'll quickly take a look now. We can quickly Google the guy. He's not going to drop a pawn, so he first takes here. So he's maybe even got a draw if he wants. No perpetual yet. King can hide away. But he's going to do something with one of these pawns. and cruise to victory, it feels. Already disrupted white's pawn structure over here, and pushing the passed pawn. Push him. And gonna maybe situate the queen somewhere around here. Somewhere where you can harass this weak pawn in white's camp. We might just move forwards. Okay, so this is the square he chooses. Directly attacking it. Hmm. Thinks for 2-3 seconds, and now I'm expecting a rover, a rook up and over. Okay, just getting behind the pawns now, and Nightmare not playing badly, keeping the time situation under control. South Africans, we like bullet. We are fast. Queen A5. What is the Nightmare up to? uh, Black declines draw, by the way. Don't know if you can see that over here. Yeah, you guys can see the whole chat. And by the way, I apologize for my face being so huge for the start of the game. That is kind of sorted out. Let's just. I want to keep the tournament clock in as well, so uh, let's just adjust that for now. There you go. We've got all the important information. I can make my head a bit bigger. Whoa, I'm growing. And the game, 19 seconds is going to be hard here. This pawn is still very tricky, but if I were black, I'm going to be pretty scared of back rank ideas. Rook's going to fall back. I'm going to try and mate here with the queen and the rook. Nightmare seizes the moment to quickly capture the pawn here, but I don't know. King here, queen comes in. Is there a mate yet? There's got to be something really juicy. This is mate. Wait. That was mate, right? That was checkmate. In any case, he's getting his mate. Queen over and rook checkmate. Okay, great stuff. Let's quickly just discuss the team standings here. South African Wolf is also playing, and he's playing on his own account. So he's lost some bullet rating earlier on, so he's okay to lose some more over there. Western Cape Chess. Talnev has berserked the game and won already. But let's keep to Grandmaster Constantine's games. He's playing against the guy that is in first place that has already gotten in a berserk victory and still not berserking this guy. I don't know if he will be berserking any games. Just doesn't feel like a logical thing to do. As the second increment is going to really really change the game dynamic. 30 seconds without increment versus 1+1. It's a different type of game. Um, but okay, who knows? 2 hours, lots and lots of time to try and play for points without berserking. Knight a6 by Talnev. Nice move, just stopping this annoying fork. Doing something active with this knight. White's already got a pretty comfortable position. Trying to see how he's going to expand. Picks up a pawn. And now defend. You want to defend this point maybe? No, the king's defending it well enough. I just don't like coordination against me. That's the only reason why I might have considered keeping my queen around. He says no, he's fine. Queen can be more active. We're going after this pawn now. And he's just going to capture this pawn. Constantine's going to... What else could he maybe be thinking about? Capturing the pawn might lead to some tricky knight b5 nonsense. Oh no, f6. No, f6 isn't possible. Maybe e6. I don't know why the pawn was not hunted down. Um, this is bullet, so ideas can be overlooked. That being said, I'm not the guy with the greatest idea always. Okay, going to be a fun tournament. I'm looking forward to this. This is the first time the Corona Chessboard Team Battle has been bullet. By the way, when the bishop was on b2, there was an idea of playing something like e6, I guess, and trying to just sack back here. Oh, the rook is hanging, and this is close to mate. King h8, bishop h6 mate. Same with king g8. Constantine on fire now, 4 points, but the Western Cape in the lead, 42 points over there. They said they're hungry for chess today, and especially bullet. Okay, where's the Grandmaster? Let's just maybe keep to his TV. This is going to be fun. The Grandmaster playing some chess with us South Africans. Konstantin Tadlev, Kian 008. And by the way, who is this guy? He's a Ukrainian grandmaster. And sorry for going away from the game. We can come back now in a second. Kian playing aggressively Alpha Zero style, pushing the spawn down. And Black has got lots of work to do now. Kian with the superior position, but the grandmaster uses the time just to go pick up the pawn. Says, I don't mind the position at the moment. I can come back and defend it. Um, give me the pawn. That's the pawn. I'm taking it. I've already castled, and this is actually a huge pawn in Black's camp. Not sure how the queen or bishop are coordinating there yet. And while all of this has been happening, these pawns have been rolling up the board, and it seems like a queenside attack is underway. Queen c7 might. Oh no! What? That's a beautiful tactic. So rook takes, and the intermezzo bishop takes check, and then capturing the rook. Therefore, the queen was not hanging. Bishop g5, great find. He's up 2 pawns now, and the bishop's on the long diagonal, dropping that pawn back again. But now bishop O pair versus he's just up more material, and he's gonna. Oh, he doesn't even need to trade down yet. He just grabs that pawn while he still can with the bishop, and this is definitely his game. Be careful, back ranks. Your bishop is now a big pawn, and he's going to push this pawn forwards, make the same point. Don't go b4 to open your bishop's eyes. There's still a back rank idea. And he's now killed this bishop with a pawn. This bishop is never coming out. Just stuck here between these 2 points. And well, there was a sacrifice, but king h2 is probably an issue. So he just doubles up, and now he's coming for this, and there's no stopping mate. Rook h1, checkmate. a1, I mean. Great stuff there. Constantine on his 3rd win so far. He's going to be dismantling players. Panageo from the previous tournament, in the 8-star tournament, he had a good time playing a Karukan. Constantine just goes for the main line where you just trade off this knight, and usually Black's okay with this, but Constantine just blitzes out preparation over there. Blitzes, what am I even saying? Blitz is for blitz, bullet is for bullet. He bullets out the prep here. There's no taking on g3. I'll just recapture, and um, everything's defended, he says. He's not as scared of some kind of sacrifice here. Oh, you want to take this bishop? I'm going to take with my h pawn most likely. It says Panageo, and I'm going to sit with this pawn formation like a block. And Constantine doesn't even go for it yet. He might capture that bishop now, or he might go knight f5. No, active king. And Panageo is really holding his own again. Such a underrated player. Playing brilliant chess. H takes, I guess. And this is weird. We have 4 pawns on this file at the moment. I would not trade down into this endgame, I feel, as black. White has managed to pick up a pawn, and it's a very healthy pawn here on the queen side. And I don't know. White could have maybe just simplified into this endgame, but he feels that maybe these 4 pawns have potential against. This feels like Tetris, like Tetris blocks. Okay, these pawns are marching up. Constantine is comfortable. He's got 1 pawn, and the 1 pawn he has. Panageo not trying to make things easy for the Grandmaster, saying, I'm going to make a pass pawn as well. You might need to give away that bishop. He says that's cool. You give away your knight, I give away my bishop, and I'm left with this outside pass pawn at the end of the day. Doesn't need too much calculation to know that he can give away his bishop over there. Going to push this pawn. After this sack, this pawn is also now passed. And black can try a sneaky move, but enough time on the clock here for Constantine. And here he shows us why the pawn needs to be way more advanced. And also, the g-pawn is not necessarily a pawn that wins or that draws the game. And checkmate in 1 or 2 moves. He throws in the towel, not managing to get that pawn up the board. Konstantin Tartlev motoring through. I think this is Constantine. He's a 33-year-old. He's got a flippin' cool hairstyle. Awesome, man. Crazy beard as well. He's playing against Dan Frank in 99, the number two player over here. And I wonder who contacted him, asked him to come play for Buffalo City Chess. Um, this is also the first time I'm seeing the Wolf in the house. By the way, will we be seeing Clarence 1234? That's usually my question. Uh, Nachi's playing. That means he doesn't really have a bullet rating. He's playing on a provisional one. Nachi is actually might be just huge competition for the Grandmaster. But today there's definitely loads of competition, and this is going to be very fun. Dan Frank going with the same alpha zero move. Is he going to sack that rook for the bishop? Nope, not yet. He says, just give me that file for now. When that bishop moves, I'll come back for it. Constantine, so far as we've seen, he's a pawn grabber. He and now opening up play on this file. There's definitely a sack idea here. Um, the bishop as well. So Constantine saying, well done, you got the file, but how are you breaking through this construction? And by the way, you need your knight around Dan, because knight d5 is coming. Knight h5 now, moving the knight, but I'm guessing knight d5, not even knight d5, knight b5 with the idea of just trading down the knight for now and playing simple slow chess. f6 would have been my concern. How does the GM deal with it? By the way, this knight is always capturable. Bishop takes h5 once you get out of this attack. Now he's just picking up a piece, and he's going for it. Up a piece, no attack for black on this side of the board. Gives away the rook for not necessary, not necessary, not necessarily necessary. um, Bishop b7, wow. Oh, beautiful way to trade down here. Yo, such a forcing move. And now he's just up a full rook and a pawn. And guess which pawn it is yet again? A very healthy passed pawn. Actually, two healthy passed pawns, but I think concretely. Well done, Constantine. Nightmare 101. The new player that's in second place. We have a King's Indian. Are we going to see some GM prep over here? Some novelty or something weird? E5 by the Nightman, jumping into the center. E4, allowing this trade and for a Maroxy bind type of structure to ensue. H3, room for the king, keeping the knight out tactically. And as I'm watching, I'm just wondering who will be the player to upset the GM, or by winning. The E5 knight is looking at this weak pawn for the time being. So I was thinking maybe queen e2 would defend it, but he says, no, that will be too slow. And then after the second attack, I can't defend it yet again. So we'll get b3 in by getting the knight out of the way. And Nightmare jumping in with these knights, proving his name true, justifying the choice of name over there. Knight b4. And Constantine just black offers a draw. White is not going to accept your draw. White declines draw. A3? Not yet, maybe. There was a way to attack to switch the queen and knight around in one move. A3, queen takes. Switching the queen and knight around in one move would have trapped the queen, but okay. That would not be a good idea. Bishop would be there. In any case, Constantine playing with a very weird looking pawn structure over here, but the pawns are doing a good job at just hitting at black's space. I'm picking up a pawn. Nightmare has no knights left. Constantine evaluated the name choice and decided that if this player gets knights, I'm not doing the best I can. Seems like black has offered another draw. And the time situation is becoming more desperate. Coming down to these lower. Oh, queen b1 is necessary. Nightmare's going to pick up a pawn again and have this passed pawn. Is he going to be an issue for Constantine? Is this going to be an upset? There's a check, and then you need to do something with a knight. Okay, not necessary. The check comes now. Room for the king? No, king becomes active like this. You need to throw the king back again now. What is Constantine up to? Is he making a draw? Oh my word. He says this pawn is way too strong. I'm not going to risk it. Interesting. Nightmare with a huge draw over there, showing us that he's smelling blood. It will be possible to take the guy down. The Sunnyside Bull, Hans Stein, as we all know. And here's opportunity to play against the GM here. And the GM says, come overextend this pawn. And I will play in a hyper-modern style and start hitting at this pawn later on in the game. And c5, very instructive here. This is a pawn, but tripled pawns and an isolated e-pawn for now. And when it's not taken, the move c4. Sunnyside Bull is holding on to this huge center of his, actually doing a relatively nice job. The GM has just actually, I consider him drawing as going down. Sunnyside Bull knows if the queens come off, then he can possibly hold on to his few weaknesses and also his bishop. Um, okay, can the Sunnyside Bull at least draw this? Black's king is way more active, but there aren't any real weaknesses, I think, in White's camp. One day b4 will be played, and possibly the pawns on the black squares can be weak. Okay, I'm not sure if I agree with c3. This pawn is going to be pushed now. Oh, okay, what is the idea? He's going to wait around with his bishop and somehow occupy this diagonal via bishop b4. That's what he's waiting for. But meanwhile, the Sunnyside Bull has tried something weird on this side of the board. Bishop b4 would be my biggest concern as white. While my bishop is trying to remain on this file, even now bishop b2. And suddenly, from a game that seemed very drawish, it feels like game over. Wait, but even bishop takes d4 is possible. And this bishop is going to first kill this one and then come back for the pawn. Not necessary, you can use all your passed pawns. Simply d3. And this should be game over. The king is also not in time to save this position. d2 and now queen. Sunnyside Bull wants to play on till checkmate. All these pawns are now hanging, but we will see a quick checkmate. You can play bishop here, I think, as well. Allow the pawn to move, make a queen, if you want to be sadistic. We're going to see a bishop f2 next, after the king moves. Oh no, but the king needs to move to the corner. That is sneaky. Okay. Is he getting paired? Is he done with this tournament? What is the deal? Did he just see the tournament somewhere online and decided, okay, he likes the name Buffalo Leg? This is Grandmaster Constantine. He likes the name Buffalo Leg. He wants to complain this tournament. He might just win a Buffalo Leg. No, he's back for more, and this time against the only player that has managed to do anything results-wise against him, Mr. Nightmare 101, who got a draw. And yet again, he's playing for a Karukan, but actually a perk. It seems like he goes for the Karukan, but he likes this perk structure. C6 move one, and then later on e5, and this is always a beautiful square for the knight to go to. Sometimes you want to prep it with a5. Nope, not today. He says, just give me this huge center for now. I can do something with this. Though he's got this one backwards pawn. Let's see how he starts hitting at white pawn formation. What would be your idea here? I don't know. Rook e8 would not be my idea unless he wants bishop f8. What to follow? Knight 4. I don't exactly know when f5 is coming. I guess the rook is good on e8 for the day that f5 does come, that you have the rook behind the e pawn. No, h5, and playing very creative chess here. Just hitting at the nightmare alpha zero style. The nightmare also maybe has a slight advantage here because he's still got his two knights on the board, and Constantine, uh, that's the way he plays the game. He looks at your username and sees which piece you prefer, and then he just gets rid of it. In this game, he's not managed to do so. Knight b5, a great outpost for that knight. Queen a8, doubling up on that a pawn. Now you need to go back and defend it somehow. Oh, walking into a fork. The nightmare is alert. White offers draw in this position. Black declines draw. I had the same thing happen to me against um, Rodwell Makoto, where it was in a classical game. I managed to win a pawn, not even a piece like this, and then but this is why he's not taking the draw. He knows he can just outlast the other player, and simply with one piece, he only used one piece really to win this game. Get a fork like this. In any case, against Rodwell Makoto, I got a pawn and immediately offered a draw, and he declined and moved quickly to intimidate me, but then he blundered again and exchanged this time. But then I didn't offer a draw again until the end, and he's just great, so he forced the draw in any case. In any case, that was quite funny. Wins a definite exchange over there. The nightmare immediately offers a draw. Bishop h6. Whoa, be careful. You're not getting castled now. And queen e2, just reinforcing this idea of the bishop cutting through the square you made here. And black is now saying, why did I even move this pawn in the beginning? There's such a big hole. That knight gets traded off. And now be careful for d5. Exactly. Breaking open the center. Your king is still in the center. And well, kicking the knight away again. Just moving up, using the space. Any developing kind of move in black's camp is just going to ruin him even more. Rook g8 can be some kind of idea. Trying to go queenside now, out of this dangerous territory. This queen can still manage to stop castling to the queen side if he wants to. He just says queen h5. Idea is that this pawn can't recapture, I guess, and then he's stopping castling with his rook uh, through the d file. Queen h4, and it's hard to evaluate his ideas. He comes up with them so quickly. It's actually quite nervous to commentate this GM playing Bullet. Chess Network does it really well. He manages to spot some of Magnus's ideas. Aha! Finally, this knight gets a great home, and the long, well, where he picks up a piece now as well. And he goes, all of his ideas here, starting with bishop h6, just amounted to this advantage with knight coming to d6 because black never fought for the center. And is he going to just give up the exchange? Nope. Whenever it's possible to do so, I can't help but consider it. I guess it's not great here because this knight is going to take a while to get back into the game. It's still on the rim. He says, okay, I'll just attack with these three pieces. I don't know what your rook is doing there, and this one there. But how are you defending this as black? I don't think you are. That's why the time's just running out. Rook here, and rook here is mate. Wow. And Constantine is not in first place. Does that mean that, well, let's see who's in first place. Let's quickly see. Vanelovic and Boomer Remover. James Denham doing well as well. Doing well as well. Well as well. Divan Potgieter. Ah, knight going to e4. I like this. Playing a Dutch type of a thing over here. I have to root for the player that plays the Dutch. It's in my genes. Ah, I really like how Divan is playing this super quickly. Is he going to do another intermezzo move? I don't think another one works because the knight takes and simply this one is captured and your bishop's also being hit. So there's not another in-betweener, and Constantine actually went into a bit of a think over there and came out victorious with 2 pawns again. Black is not completely hopeless. I guess the rook has got a bit of space and you want to do something with this bishop, but this pawn is also a bit in its way. I think ideally, where would you like the bishop? Okay, so it has this a3, a6 square. But where to then? I think you might be trying to wiggle the bishop into the position. If you can get it to d5, that's not happening and you're down another pawn. And this rook is coming to the 7th. Okay. Ooh. And now this looks hopeless. You need to go bishop b7 to stop. Well, the rook going all the way back isn't that bad. Okay. Bishop takes f3, or king can still run. But you're in a lost king pawn endgame. And these 2 pawns, you're going to have to run your king over to the side of the board and, well, simply we'll see how Constantine converts this just a 1 pawn at a time. And this pawn is through now. There's no stopping it. Check and then make a queen. Divan can resign here, which he does. Just in chess 2020, 25 with fire. Constantine has only drawn 1 game, and that was against the Nightmare 101. And he's played the first hour of the tournament. Is he going to get a big lead and decide that's it? I'm done crushing you guys for now. I wonder when white will decide to play e5, or if Louis is just going to hang on onto this tension. So bishop e6 says, okay, it is inviting e5, and I guess black will go back with the knight and try f6 later on. Black's going to be fine recapturing here with the knight, or even the king. King, I guess, knight. I'm not even going to make guesses. The ideas are too deep. Okay, the knight obviously, because you want to go to f5 in the future. And now the queen side is closed off, and this bishop versus this bishop. Black's light squared bishop is tons better. Very interesting after the e5 move. Queen c7, what was that about? The queen was on d7. Queen c7. Defending a base point. Does he want to get the queen free onto this side of the board? Pressure on this pawn. We might see knight e7 if that's his idea. Yep. And a queen b6. And if there's a rook trades, he's simply going to recapture with a knight so that this pawn is guarded. Now queen b6. Was this his long-term idea? Is he going to put a piece on this e6 square now? Yep, he can do so with tempo, and now queen b6. Finally, his idea. And we can expect c5 now. Well, obviously not, because this is just the pawn now. But maybe not even c5 earlier on. So he won this pawn now, and now going for the f file. Still a square on e6 for his knight. Weak pawns. Hit the knight. That's defending the pawn. Within that piece, you can pick up the pawn. How do you want to do it? With a knight? You want your bishop to remain. Rook takes is also possible. The bishop is now very happy on f7. You've got this, and you're picking up another pawn. Doesn't even want that. He's up 2 full pawns. Centralize the king. Go for back for those pawns later on. Constantine is walking away with this game. That is checkmate, by the way. What do they call this mate again? With the 2 pawns cutting off the other squares. We'll get back to it later. Paradox 1982. I went through all of these players' names yesterday. I'm supposed to remember who Paradox 1982 is, but for the life of me, I can't. This knight is beautiful on the square. Is he going to reinforce it with f4? No, bishop f4. And maybe king h1. King h1, f3. Oh, there's a tactic. The knight needs to be captured, picking up a pawn. The knight was attacking the queen, therefore you couldn't take the bishop first. e4 hitting the bishop. f4. I'm waiting for this move. Grandmasters don't usually play it as quickly as I do. Opens up the king a lot, so just some other improvements first. Look at all of this space this bishop now has. Came in via f4 with a tactic, managed to end up on a3. And Constantine, as per usual, playing up. Wait, he's not playing up a pawn. Somewhere he lost that pawn back again. d5, e5. e5 just opens up the eyes of the bishop and creates a great square for this bishop. Holding on to the material. Don't go bishop takes because of a knight here, right? I would have been thinking. But queen takes actually walks into a bigger blunder. But this move is not coming. Yeah, there it is. Finally, winning some material is Paradox. His position is not great though, and we can expect no. Wait, I'm expecting this type of intermezzo. The idea of queen takes rook. But in any case, he did not go for it. He was considering it. It was not good enough. This spin is going to be painful, so the material is given back by Paradox, and that's a good idea. White is just moving forwards. This is now a tactic. Moving the king to h8 and then only capturing. And he's on the 7th. Time advantage. That pawn can just be taken. And how are you getting into my position, Black? Good question. Trying to open up a file, and Paradox can't even land a rook on the b file. What did he do? Did he push the pawn? Okay, Paradox trying to go for perpetual, but the king is safe on h3. Is he safe on h3? You got the bishop falling back. Ah, h3 there would have been queen h5 check and a perpetual like this, but the bishop falls back. Spotting it so quickly, now the king is safe here because the queen can't go to h5. And be careful, there's loads of checkmating ideas here. Another piece is given away. Whoa, is that perpetual? g1, queen here. Bishop falls back. Oh, there's another check. The king gets away. Nothing to do. Another check thrown in. But where are your following checks now, Black? And that's it. Constantine taking another one. Taking another one down. Dan Frank again. Dan Frank 99. Knight e7. He's aiming to play f5 someday. Kicking away the bishop. He can't play f5, I guess, with that pin still around. And now keeping the king in the center, are we going to see some crazy chess? King running to the other side of the board. King still in the center. He's preparing to do so. Knight f6. Nope, now he suddenly goes the other way. He realizes it will take too long. But there was enough time for knight c6. Okay, if there's a bishop exchange, this knight is coming to f5. And, well, he spots another pawn hanging. This guy is a pawn grabber. Bishop takes, now knight takes f5, just switching the order around to pick up a pawn. And c6, opening up this b6 square for the queen. And great coordination on f2 now, bishop and queen. Also, the square is available for the knight. Unfortunately, the queen is still around. I would have liked it if the queen was not around. Ooh, being very tricky now. Very tricky. Might sack exchange, but he plays very safely. He doesn't give material away uh, too often. Okay, so the knight still defends the bishop, by the way. So the queen is allowed to move, and the king is kind of boxed in. I can kind of imagine a situation where a knight coming to one of these squares will be devastating. Dan Frank is holding on. He's down 2 pawns. This knight is on e3 now, and those rooks aren't looking too great. Queen b4. It's traded. He might just capture back with a pawn. Yep, it opens up the f file. And wow, White finding this nice idea to recapture the pawn. That's a very nice idea. Oh, not going for it. I think the problem was just the rook pin. So he goes for the check first. But now the rooks are entering again. Something like rook to e8 now. Constantine is having a think. It's not too clear what he should do here. He goes on the offensive again. Now rook e8. Nope, queens must come off. And Dan Frank is now not down 2 pawns anymore. Still, his position is worse, but he's making the GM think a bit. GM says, bye-bye with your queen. Oh, I was expecting bishop e6 instantly, but the pawn's just solidified. And we're just going to see another masterclass in endgame over here. Keep your rook more active than your opponent's, and there is no tactic on this square, in case you were wondering. Picks up another pawn, and he's back up to 2 pawns. Bishop can retreat with tempo. By the way, this pawn is already defended, so no worries over there. Gives back a pawn to disrupt this formation, and now he's up 3 pawns. Whoa! Whoa! What a nice tactic there by Dan Frank. Can he hold the position now? Can he hold it? I don't know. Those are a lot of pawns here on the queen side, and the GM's gonna let them roll now soon. They're gonna be rolling. Can't move the A pawn yet. Now he's starting to push them. C4. These pawns are still moving up. Constantine is really going to have to bring out his best over here. And Dan Frank down on the clock and gets flagged. It was possible to go rook a6 after c7 check. King moves, give back that pawn. Place your rook on b6 and try and get your pawn up the board. Try and play for a draw at least, because anything else and c7 comes. That's why Constantine was able to flag over there. That was the first serious match so far. First person to give him real grief. Ashley, the 6th place contestant. And queen goes to e8, Ashley. He's planning maybe f5? e5, And the position, you need to play bishop to b8. You need to keep an eye on this pawn, that's why. Constantine, isn't he dropping a piece? No, that was just an exchange and maybe a way to get a knight to this square. Doesn't just want the knight there, he wants the queens off, and only then he wants the knight there. He didn't go for the pawn. I think his knight would have been trapped. Not really. Constantine could have gone for the pawn. His knight had an escape route. The bishop was also covering the square. In any case, Ali, 1,000 point difference between these two players, and Ali holding his or her own. Dropping a pawn though. Finally, Constantine is going to win. He's up a pawn. And a healthy passed pawn. This pawn is now he's just there's no plan needed. You just run up the board with it. Try and well, now this pawn runs up together alongside, but I think c4 would have been met by instantly b6 as we see here, with tempo against the rook. And it might be time to give away this knight. Yep. And then you need to hope for the best. Can you maybe hold this position? Maybe try and get more pawns off. It might be possible to draw this as black, but Constantine up a full piece. Watch out, c3 can come. What are you doing about it? Rook behind the pawn, c2. And there's nothing. Rook b1, simply this rook can recapture. Obviously, when this rook recaptures, the bishop would be hanging. So now these pawns are traded off, and the big advantage here, oh, don't trade down material. Uh-oh. You want to trade down pawns, but not the major pieces. If you could trade on all the pawns and your two rooks, then it's simply a draw. So I don't know. Might have needed your other rook to facilitate something like that, but still very tricky. Okay, Constantine's waiting around, getting some increment, trying to make leeway for the king to enter. But if I were okay, Constantine goes for it immediately. If the king gets here, he claims game is over. And exactly, checkmate. King needed to run over there. But the king gets boxed in with this very nice idea. And if king to this square, this check. That's the typical king bishop checkmate. With the rook, obviously. Wow. Constantine. And Dalpat. Also from the Western, or not the Western Cape, Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union. Playing very quickly. You can't show intimidation or fear. He'll pick it up. Knight h6, as I was discussing earlier. Sometimes such a nice square for your knight to go to. Immediately has access to f5, and if you fianchettoed, your bishop can just recapture, and then you've got the bishop pair. Only if you've fianchettoed, though. Is he considering e4 instead immediately? No, he goes rook e8. Knight to b3. Constantine's got this huge pawn formation in the center of the board, and looking to push it. You could possibly make a passed pawn if you get c5 in as well. The f file is also a great file. Okay, now en passant, just place your knight on this beautiful outpost. And now go back for the pawn. And go back with your knight. Just harass white in like forever. And there's now a pin. Oh. Dull but losing some material, the exchange and the pawn down. And that was so sweet. Remember, this knight came into the position, I think via f5. I might be lying now. I can't remember. Was it f2 and then like this? I know it was moving around now, but knight h6, very quick move to get castled and not hamper f5. Oops, that knight had the responsibility of defending b6, down a full rook now. And Constantine says, well, let's just make it a bishop and go for the endgame. I'm happy to win this, and if you're going to give me the material back, I'm happy. It's time to resign. Still having a great tournament. How is the team standings going? 278 for Western Cape, 276 for Buffalo City. On the heels, 50 there for Constantine. And hey, Nachi is climbing this ladder, 37. I'm hoping to see him soon. Paradox 1982 is the opponent we have in the house now. Going for e6, d5, and also this very closed formation where he feels safe and c4 kind of instantly by Constantine saying, okay, let's break open this position and let's blow the house. Oh, but this is a lot of material. Oh, that's a blunder. Queen b6 is a blunder. Unless it's not. The way he played it so quickly, I think Constantine's also pretty scared. Oh, it's not a blunder because the only way to play is go knight takes and you can play rook takes and you're off of this diagonal. In any case, Paradox has got a few tricks up his sleeve, and Constantine is wary at the moment. Need to remember this is a different time control than normal bullet. This 1 second increment makes it, well, we spoke about it earlier. If the game lasts was 60 moves, then King e7. Wow, I think that was not a great idea. I guess anything else would have also struggled a bit. In any case, if the game lasts 60 moves, then the game is 2 minutes aside. Black just simply resigns here. The queen needs to move, and I'm guessing things like e5, d6, they're coming, and then the bishop as well on that square. Not sure why king e7. Maybe he tried moving his bishop to e7. Constantine going for something more offbeat over here. g5, move 1. And which side of the wall is he going to castle to? He's playing against Mr. Ali again. And oh, it seems like he might be playing this entire event. So far he's been playing for about 50 minutes. And yet again he's up a pawn. King's still in the center. He's still chilling it out. He's going to castle kingside though. We might just not castle at all. Ali's trying to break open the center here, and this is a good idea. If black trades, you just continue trading here. And he goes kingside finally. This check is not going to do anything, that's his point. But, oh, I would have really liked to play h4 there. Okay, but still just done one pawn. It's not the end of the world for Ali. And trying to set up something like this check and this checkmate. Be careful now, black. This check is obviously not available yet. The knight's covering it. Ali's still holding it, the position, and I'm feeling a bit spacey here. I don't want to move this knight from the f6 f6 post. So this ugly e8 idea. Ali is doing actually quite a great job over here. Oopsie daisy. Oh, it's fine, says Constantine. That's just a pawn. Ali can go for this idea if he wants and try and make some more room around the black king. I'm not sure. This is just very sharp. Now he's blundering a piece though. Constantine just calculating too deep over here. Going back for the mate idea, but the knight now covers the mate idea. And I think Ali is now worn out, not going to find any more ideas as the pawn marches are up and the king is pretty safe. Oh, this is one nice idea, maybe. Bishop comes back for the pawn. Not going to happen. Uh, and there's a second pass pawn. The knight will be reinforced either way, and the pawns will march through. Ali had enough. A great bullet player. Definitely underrated. I apologize. I am closing down some information over there, like the clock time. Dan Frank, this is their third game, and Frank now decides I'm going all in. I'll give you 2 points from the start, Mr. Pawn Grabber. Just give me some momentum. And gonna castle queenside. Oh, what was this about? You're going for momentum with 2 pawns, but then playing h3. Okay, maybe there's some logic behind it. Dan Frank playing super aggressive chess. 2 pawns down. Potential for rook e1. Not yet. Uh, Gonna have to back up this bishop for that idea. Oops, goes to a pawn. That's not a pawn. That is a piece. Tactically so aware of his position. Says king safety is not even necessary. Tactics keep me safe. Just gonna probably play king d. No, just bishop e6, and now castles queenside up in material. King is safe. Dan Frank is probably feeling pretty frustrated roundabout now. That's his idea. Um, Dan Frank, what is there to play for, really? There's no coordinating against anything. Um, yeah, Dan Frank tried going in there on the queen side, but yet again, that queen is now just cut off of the game. And just look at this h pawn roll: h3, h2, and Dan Frank resigns. Nothing to coordinate towards. That blacking is safe, and you're getting dismantled by a second queen coming to the board. Even more material dropping. Ali, my favorite so far, the underrated 1700, and they are in a queen's pawn game and not a queen's gambit. Except, oh, that's a piece, man. Oh, Ali just blundering quickly. Oh, okay. Now Ali's probably playing more like their rating. Um, I like the Ali that was playing slowly and managed to show us that the character of the game was more blitz-like, and you can think of deeper ideas than in a usual blitz game. But White's now up a full rook and looking to pick up the c6 pawn, I guess. Yep, and or your knight, where you need to retreat it someday. Up another pawn, and Mr. Constantine is very happy now. He's got his extra pawn. Bishop takes d6, just trading down, centralize the knight. And it's going to be lights out after queen takes f7 check and knight g6 check. Not necessary. That queen takes on e8 first. Backing up, remember queen h8 is checkmate, and he's going to get this checkmate in pretty quickly. Might have wished he berserked this game, or not. I want to see him berserk again. The first hour is almost over, and this is going to be a win. So while we wait there, Constantine 62 with fire, but Einachi, the player I was highlighting out earlier on, he's coming up with fire. And honestly, where is Mr. Wolf? I was expecting him to rise up. Okay, he has played a bit and decided that this rating of his is more worth than a tournament standing. Therefore, we have typical Schwarzenegger, who I think is Roberto de Abrio, and Einachi, Matt Pond, representing Joburg Metro. And this is very interesting. Buffalo City running up there with 327 versus 337 from Western Cape. On their heels, Nelson Mandela still in the run, Einachi and Roberto pulling Joburg Metro up there, but Gauteng North not showing their presence this time as they have been in the past. And Boomer Remover seems to be the only guy representing Ekurhuleni. Sedibeng is Justin Sedibeng. Free State and Wifferbach, they don't want to play Simbula today. In any case, let's jump back into Constantine's games. See what he gets up to. Is he already up? He's up a pawn, just as I'm tuning in. Playing against this weak pawn structure here in Black's camp. Okay, Brian not playing too badly. As white, I'm kind of upset about what happened here now, and you can maybe target all of these weak pawns. That's not happening yet. White can now make decent progress with this extra passed pawn, and we will see that happen. King d5. He doesn't care about that extra pawn now. The one pawn he got previously, rook c4, and well, Brian just saying, I know I'm lost. Let's just try and make a queen before I resign. In any case. Kenny Willenberg. Here's a good matchup. Oh no, don't tell me he's not going to make a move. Oh no. Does he know he's playing against the GM? Ah, here he is, online. And can Kenny Willenberg take him down? We have a Scandinavian with just gambiting that pawn for the time being. And Kenny plays knight to c3. Very interesting. Not taking with the d pawn, because that would trade on queens. Taking with the b pawn, playing rook b1. In the future, you can play bishop a3. This rook is doing a good job over here. And, well, going for some Alpha Zero stuff himself as well with this H pawn just running down the board. And it seems like his rating has taken a toll. 2200 blood rating there. The Grandmaster might just underestimate him by that little tad of a bit, as he's actually probably at 2350. Okay. This bishop on h8 is a still pretty solid piece, since it's always going to occupy this file. And since the pawn is on h6 now, white isn't going to do too much with it, so black might have hopes of coming back for the pawn one day. Is there a blunder here somehow tactically? Is there something? Not spotting it. Kenny's holding on by a thread. Still got this attack on g7. Oh, here's the tactic. After knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes, the queen is hanging. Kenny throwing in the piece there. Greatly spotted there by the GM. Playing up a piece, just defending the b6 pawn for now. And he's still got this weakness he needs to deal with. And Kenny being very active now. Might consider something like a sacrifice one day. Uh, Nothing yet. Really wish you could attack a bit more quickly, and should try getting on the 7th, I think. Uh, this piece is getting hit twice now. The knight has jumped up the board, managing to grab that pawn as I was saying earlier on. Not defending, being more active. The knight's not hanging. You simply walk into a fork. Kenny needs to think of something else, but walks into a different type of fork. And wow, finding a great tactic. Oh, unfortunately, it's refuted instantly. Taking the queen immediately would have walked into this check. In any case, there's still some pieces on the board. Anything can happen. Oops. And Kenny throws in the towel. An hour has passed. What is happening in the tournament? Constantine with a huge lead there. Einachi rising up. I can't wait for that pairing. I'm telling you guys that pairing is going to be great. And Buffalo City has taken the lead with exactly more close to an hour left. Constantine versus King Gladiator. Develops another knight instead of throwing this knight back. And now might reinforce the knight. Or um, I'm thinking you really want to take the square as black. The e5 square. You want a piece to land over there. And not possible yet, because you're dropping the piece, and although you're getting this double pawn, it's not worth it. Therefore, the a5 move I was talking about earlier on, so that you can go for the d4 square. Knight d4. Finally getting that square because of a5. And queen a3. Ooh. By the way, 94 was way stronger than I was making it out to be. It was hitting the queen as well. Queen needed to go to a3, and then this fork you guys just saw. With material dropping, Constantine up an entire rook. Is anyone going to give him grief if not Matt Pon? c6 now, just kicking that knight back. And while this knight is being kicked back, just be aware that your bishop is going to be hanging with checks. I'm not sure why this isn't being gone for. What? I'm not seeing anything. Okay, so he could have gone for that. But I'm guessing the knight is also trapped after king there, so he found a way to kick away the queen from defending and then picking up another piece. But in any case, he's not having any trouble here. He's going to be taking this game home. Rook coming to the second. Nope, rook coming to the first. Kicking mate in one threat now. King might need to run. Not much to do here anymore. Might just throw in another check. There's probably a better mating idea. Yep, queen coming to the square after the knight is defended. Queen sack down here. But we're going to see this mate, and he's going to pre-move it. G5 instantly. Well done. Constantine not having any trouble so far throughout the tournament. 78 with fire, only one draw so far, and that was against Nightmare. Einarchi's also on fire. Are they getting paired now? I can honestly, yes, yes, this is the pairing I've been waiting for. We have a French on board, and 92 in the French. Okay. Finally, the game we've been waiting for. Number 1 versus the number 2, and the only player I think that can possibly take down Mr. Constantine. Very typical French maneuvering here by Einarchi, but I think he still got this weakness on e6, which is a long-term problem. Quickly managing to get his knight very active. Second knight very active. Things looking good for Einarchi. Needs to back up the queen maybe to b8 now to keep the tension. Nope, says I'll go to d7. There's still a piece hanging there. Going to recapture with the queen, keep pressure on the e-pawn. Very nice find by Einarchi, missed the mat pawn. e3, pawn captured. There's the fork, but okay, can be traded off. My knight is just super active then. And I like about his style is he is also trying to play for some initiative. Lots of the other players though just kind of sat back and let the grandmaster decide what should happen. Bishop d7. He wants some more pieces in the game, but it feels like he's just traded off one of his star pieces. Needs to go for that intermezzo check, not to lose any material. And now he was the one with the weak pawn on e6, but it's now suddenly white with the isolated d pawn in the position. Black can possibly play against this pawn and try and play with the majority. White says, I like this knight a lot. Just going to keep it there and let it bother you. And Matt pawn with a beautiful bishop on d5. There's also a beautiful knight on e5. A very balanced position in that sense, but liking this possible rook activity here. Choosing his e-rook to do it with says that the rook on the f-file has got the job of protecting f4, aligning the queen against the king and the pawn. Don't drop material, Matt. Oh my! He's not picking up a pawn. Be careful now, mate in 2. Sidesteps mate in 2. You can go king h8 now, but the pawn's back. And whoa, so quick. Sets up this little trap. Don't go for that pawn. There's queen takes f4. This time I'm not sure why the pawn wasn't grabbed. Yeah, the pawn is finally grabbed, and Constantine is up 2 pawns. And Matt's not going to be happy with himself if the result is dependent on these 2 pawns. This pawn's hanging. Definitely go take it. King h7, instantly get this rook to this b2 square as soon as possible. b3. Is he going to get the pawn back? 14 seconds on the clock. Beautiful. Using that bit of time there, Matt Pon, and finding that beautiful mate there. Wow, completely missed that idea. I was looking at the pin the whole time, and wow, the queen needed to fall back and defend the mate. Matt's got zero respect. Look at this. Constantine has gone berserk. Wait, why is it not showing that he's gone berserk? He's got half his time. I did not miss anything. He's gone berserk. This guy's angry now. He thought he was an invincible, but well, he's not played against the Nachi before. Grandmaster Constantine with a 2751 rating over there. He thought he was up 2 pawns. He was not looking out for any checkmate ideas like that. 51 minutes to go. Uh, Buffalo City and Western Cape pairing over here. Seems like this could be the highest Western Cape player, I guess. What? Is he down a rook? He's going to go down again. I'm still so in awe of the previous game that I did not notice he's down a full rook in this game. 13 seconds without increment. He's going to be losing to a 1900. And he throws in the towel a second time. Is he going to quit the tournament? Is he going to quit the tournament? I don't know. This guy might just rage quit. Constantine after that loss. 69 with fire. Nachi wants to come for that first place. And if Constantine quits, then so be it. Rage quitter. Constantine has not quitted. This is the guy that does not quit. You can see this guy is a fighter. And he's back playing against Captain Bat. Yet again, c4 quickly, disrupting the players that think they're going to be safe with this type of pawn formation. And then going for the pawn later on. And immediately forces a type of imbalance in the position in the pawn structures. And he had the possibility of taking this pawn as well. Besides on the c-pawn. He's not gone berserk, and playing e takes instantly. Although I'm not sure what this all amounts to. Wait, he's up a piece. That's what it amounts to. Don't take the knight. Your rook's hanging. And, well, this is just game over. Black throws in the towel. Pre-moving e5, not recapturing this bishop. Constantine might just decide that, okay, that win is good enough. I can try and get my bearings again. 2 losses. It's bad, but I can hit back from this. While Nachi is definitely feeling like, okay, he didn't have the best start, lost against a few players. Kenny Willenberg, one of them, and he's coming back. He can take down the Grandmaster. He smelt blood. Bishop b2, maybe? Queen c2. It looks like he might be planning to play on the queen side in this game. Immediately look at that nice pawn move, and black can't do anything about his pawn on c6, and now this bishop is rendered useless, kind of. Brian DP is also one of the players that took down Matt, so have to be kind of careful here. As Constantine, this is the number 3 player playing for Western Cape Chess. I did not look at the standings just now, but I would not disrespect this player. Ooh, knight c, no trickiness yet. And very importantly, Brian DP is not down any pawns. If you're down a pawn, Grandmaster smells fear and goes in for the kill. Now, as white, I'd really want my knight here exactly at this moment so that I could Try some smothered mate ideas. Unfortunately, the queen is also around, so I might be trying to set this up in the long term. Yep, now would be a moment to do it. Sorry, contour arrows 94, 96 or something. There is no 96. He goes what now? But I wonder what's the idea after Brian being sharp for a moment. If you take my rook, I'm going to take with check. You need to recapture, and only then can you. He goes for it. He says, "I'll play a rook against two bishops." And what's his point? Maybe he said, "Well, I calculated this for too long. I'm not going to spend any more time calculating anything else." And I think one of his points is that the rook can enter onto the eighth and be a big nuisance. How to do it though? The square is covered for the time. Oh wait, obviously e8 is now the goal. Rook e1, rook e8, game over. And you don't even need um, well, rook e8 now. In any case, the GM saying that I don't even need the bishop pair. Give me a rook and a file and a king that's weak. I'll take that over two well bishops on diagonals. Kuzi Yamisa, also from the Western Cape, and the only other player that could really upset Gramos the Constantine was um, the player from the Western Cape. I can't remember the name now, but he berserked in that game. So as I was saying earlier on, berserking in this time format, starting with 30 seconds, playing with someone with a minute plus one. A minute is still fine, but the plus one, that is just madness, and only something the real um, monsters of the game can do. Guys as such as Penguin and not even Magnus, to be honest. Alireza could probably still pull it off. That's really a tricky thing to do. Okay. I think Constantine's a bit annoyed by this bishop. He's not going to get castled. So he goes king d8. The bishop, protected by the queen, has been doing a great job of uh, dislocating this black king. And playing on the queen side now. Maybe looking for the possibility to bring a rook to the d file. Yeah. That's why king c8 as well. And shutting out this bishop with his pawn. He's already up a pawn, so his opponent's going down. Bishop takes f3 is another pawn. Knight f c5 is the idea, though. Ooh, some activity here for white. You're not getting this pawn, though. And when your queen's not around... Oh! That was the point. The GM does not blunder a pawn. This GM likes his pawns. And he's playing up a full rook. This is going to be another one for him. And while we just wait for the game to end, let's see what the tournament standings look like. 422, Buffalo City, Western Cape 406, and this will be the big competition throughout well, this team battle. Buffalo City hosting this tournament. I haven't really seen them feature in the top places yet. In any case, Constantine there, getting them a lot of points. Hey, Nachi went down. Nachi went down against the Viking King. So he's also not on fire. Also still far away from Constantine, who is now rounding up the game, who's just won. White resigned here. He can escape for now. Where's it? The mate is the rook behind it. And we have then another Kenny Willenberg versus Constantine Batlle. This time Kenny with the black pieces. Going for King's Indian. H3. Is G4 going to be on the board? And something very aggressive. Nope, I don't think so, because Kenny himself went A5. Oh, close center. King's going to stay in the center. Oh no. Let me just not say anything. Just let me get on a level where I can understand what these guys are up to. h4 now. And very, very sharp game. Kenny looking to open up the c file potentially, saying it's going to take your time to break through here. I'm going to launch an attack of myself, of my own, I mean. And he can do it now. He's attacking the bigger pawn structures here. Be careful now. I think you need to go bishop takes. You don't want to. You're losing a pawn. Oh, a sacrifice, giving up a piece, saying, "Whoop, see Daisy, look at that." Look at the coordination. This piece is not hanging. Do you really think I'll just blunder a piece? But down a pawn, which is bad enough. Okay, now Kenny's attack seems to have fizzled out, so after that a3 pawn disappeared. Oh my word. Okay, no comments over there. We have an open Sicilian. And Paradox 1982 has gone down twice against Constantine. And I don't know if Constantine is on fire again. Has he been getting 4 again for wins? Yep, he has for a while now. On 90, Matpon trying to get back up there. Only way he could really stop the GM is by taking him down himself. And taking other players down just a bit more quickly than the GM does. For a while, there's still 40 minutes to go. There's a lead now between first and second place, but ooh, I'm always scared of these situations as black. Oh, this is actually pretty simple defense. I've never had the chance to see someone defend like this. F takes is the idea, obviously. H takes, and the queen has got more room to play with. In any case, Paradox bringing out quite an aggressive game over here. If this knight can be displaced, it's game over for black. So, not anymore. Rook has now got the responsibility of defending the h7 square. Therefore, you can probably just trade down. Yep. And if you're not careful, white, the GM will be taking your pawn. Well, okay, they're equal now. Equal material. Ooh, tricky, tricky. Doubling up with the rooks, doesn't want the rook to go away from home. I'm not thinking the sack would have done anything, but just playing safely. In the long term, I guess in the endgame, black stands a bit better. White's got this good pawn, and black's got these two on the outside of the board. But Paradox is not down a pawn, and his position seems okay. Playing against that e5 pawn. No, rook f4 is a great outpost for your rook. Remains active. What about rook f? Ooh, rook f3. GM finding very active ideas. The knight's still got a square. The knight can be tricky now. Why? Constantine says, okay, run this pawn. I'm running my own pawn. You're not getting behind the pawn to push it through. Gonna have to waste a lot of time going knight c5. Okay, Paradox with a better plan than mine. Go after the bishop that's attacking the square. And still knight c5, I guess. Ooh, is Constantine maybe going to go down a second time? Uh-oh, I don't think so. Oh, okay. Okay, what's happening? What's happening? Who's better here? I guess this should just be a draw. White should activate his king. But this pawn is so fast. If you can just nudge the b pawn up the board a bit. White feels a tad too slow. What are you doing against the e4 and h2? These pawns are super fast. The king can maybe still step in. You need to really get this pawn rolling. Rook. Oh my word, this is going to be a two queens with check. Oh my word, check or just take the queen. Constantine is going down. The rook as well. Paradox wins. Well done, Paradox. Wow. This might be the point where Constantine rage quits. Uh, the position wasn't that spicy till the end game for White. What a game. Louis Avenga. You're gonna get a furious Constantine playing against you. This time he does not berserk after his loss. He decides to play in moderation. C5. Hitting at that central structure. And now D5. Not even D5. You can't take this pawn. Bishop's hanging. Twice now. No castling queenside. Queen is occupying the file. Very active knight. Take my knight and the queen is stopping you from castling both sides of the board. Rook's hanging, but he will sort it out somehow. Bishop d7. Now the king can maybe castle queenside. Would not be the biggest fan. Okay, kingside is probably more respectable. Ooh, the bishop gets to this beautiful file. Hammering down on this pawn, you might need to move your queen back. Says, no, I'll let my rook babysit this pawn. But this bishop's doing a great job of controlling these diagonals. Pawn's hanging. This guy's going to take a pawn. Oh, wait, did someone not tell him there was a pawn to be grabbed? We do have a pawn grabber, this guy. Nope, he's now a center grabber. Taking the center with e5, f4, saying this is the winning idea. Get the pawn to the square, and it's lights out. Louis Havenkhan knows it. No defending against some of these ideas. That's just winning material on the spot. Rook's coming to the second. Just throws in the towel. Noah's Land. Number 43 in the tournament, 1547. Playing against GM Konstantin Tarlev. Noah's Land sacrificing a piece for maybe it's like a sacrifice to the gods of chess. Here's my knight. I'm playing against the GM. Please help. In any case, he gave a rook as well. The gods weren't happy with only a knight. And he's going to give a bit more. He might just give the game as well. It might be a proper sacrifice of the game. Only then the gods. Oh, Constantine plays rook b1, defending the b2 pawn, and making it possible to move the pawn. Oh, some tricky coordination there on h2. Noah wants to give away the bishop and the rook now. Ooh. He's going to have a bishop. What counterplay can he work out over here? Nothing. This time he did not trust the gods of chess to allow some stalemate idea. Just threw the towel down and decided to go for his next game. Brian DP. E4. Immediately striking that center, he's got this big construction over here. Iowa White, maybe not d4, because Black just going to leave his pawns there. He's happy with this. And if you allow c6 now, and no trades, going to have this huge triangle, Illuminati triangle, staring down your position. And we all know triangles are the strongest structures. Not necessarily so in chess. Chess has got its own logic and geometry. I really want to get my knight to this square, and I think that should be game over. But you need to realize sometimes you need to look at the square you want to go to, and you need to look at the squares you can do that from. And currently, they're all being attacked. This is why H. Okay, so this is the start of the big triangle. You just need to get this pawn here, and there's unfortunately no getting the H pawn there. So you're never going to have the full triangle with the I in the middle. The big pawn overseeing everything. So the issue is the knight can't get to the square because of all these um, points being attacked. The triangle starts moving upwards. It will be picking up another pawn when it does so. The bishop will need to come to this square and another pawn will drop. I think bishop takes because then you've got knight coming to the square. Ah, I wanted my point to be proven. The knight needs to get there, but he sees another way of picking up material through that discovery on the queen, and now just pinning down on this knight. And the knight has got this check, but it gets traded and you need to move your queen in any case. So Brian DP losing material here, and there's nothing to do about it. Um, Half an hour left of the tournament. What is happening with the team standings? Buffalo City taking a bit of a lead over there, almost over the 500 mark. Constantine bringing a fifth of that score, and that's 10 players in a team. So someone do the maths. How many players' work is he doing over there? A Nachi 85. He's hitting back and he's hitting hard. Against who is he playing? Not against Constantine. So we won't. Well, let's give Constantine a break there. He's playing against the 1600. Let's feature our other favorite player and a Nachi playing against Hacker Zolz, an 1800. He's up 2 pawns. Constantine would approve. And up on the clock. I would approve. And now we want to set up the mate. Rook comes to the 7th. If h6 is going to make a flight square, always bishop e4. And it seems like he'll round up this game soon. You can just continue improving as white. And there's not much black can do since his king is stuck here. Okay, white says let's just quickly go to the endgame where I'm just winning more pawns. And now the king's improving. Expecting f3, g4. Not even. What's this about? Trying to trade off rooks. He gets it. And he's now definitely in the one endgame. He just needs less pieces on the board and the advantage becomes more. And I don't know if you guys know why the advantage becomes more. It's because of the ratio. In the beginning, let's say you have 19 to 17 points. That's because you're up a pawn, if you just have points. And as you continue trading down, that ratio just continues enlarging until you've got 1 to 0. You've got that one pawn, and if it's placed well, you can win with that one pawn. It's a huge advantage. But you really need to curate that advantage correctly. Matt is kind of doing it. He won this pawn for this one. I just a bit skeptical about a king pawn endgame with one of these guys being dangerous. But Hacker Source is not moving quickly, not using that 1 second increment, and Matt has got nothing to worry about. Meanwhile, in Constantine's game, he's not converting so quickly. Batlle playing quite imaginative chess here, I presume, having opened up the H file somehow. But now, since the queens are off, I'm not completely buying it. Especially because you're down a pawn. And going to be down a second pawn. And it's going to be a passed pawn. And he can trade down more material, and as I was speaking about earlier, have a bigger advantage. Whoops, bishop f6. No, never mind bishop f6, there's a hanging rook on e1. A notch, is he already in a pairing? Unfortunately so. Just missing Constantine there. Kuziyamisa is his opponent. And it seems fairly plain so far. Kuziyamisa with the bishop on e6. Just don't let the knight trade off to that square. Matt is clearing the way for some f4 and f5 punishing. And Kuziyamisa is bringing the queen in somehow, letting it also attack the square. This is the moment you need to be aware of your bishop on the square. Maybe try and trade it off. Okay. Ooh, things are getting sharp here. Back off. No! Back off that bishop to this side of the board. Hold on to that strong pin you just saw. In any case, you need to do something with your queen now. h5 is possible. Keeping it around on the king side. a5 is just as good. It can get kicked away immediately on h5 via bishop e2. So Matt now going for this weak pawn. He created the weakness. Now he's just going to capitalize on it, and he won a pawn. f5 is also now possible. Nope, going after this piece. You need to move it, and he can get a trade in if he wants. Be careful, Matt. You've also got a hanging pawn. He pushes it. And his opponent down on the clock. And it could be that he's just going to convert again on the clock, but we'll see. It's not his fault he's getting material with b4. Oh, okay, actually he's not. Wait, he is. And more material. Okay. This is all she wrote, probably. Can watch the conversion, maybe. More pieces getting traded off. And queen is going to probably checkmate on that square soon. Yep, checkmate. Okay. Meanwhile, Constantine, I don't know when this game has happened or when it was over, but he's also waiting for a pairing, it seems. Maybe we're lucky and we have a second pairing with 26 minutes to go, and I am happy. We're watching it from Constantine's perspective, but let's maybe just switch to Nachi's perspective because let's feel what it feels like to play against the GM from the side of the only player that's managed to beat him and setting up a very closed structure here. Um, and this is typical Matt Bond. Just also going to keep his king in the center, but keep the center very closed with a lot of pieces on the board where he can make things tactically very, very tricky. He drops a pawn this time very quickly in the game. Constantine wants to show his dominance, and bishop d7, trying to get queen c7 and some coordination on the square. It's immediately traded off. Constantine takes with the h-pawn, not even taking with the queen. I think taking with the queen could allow h5 with tempo, not allowing any ideas for an attack. This is a big game. And Constantine has shifted his direction completely to the king side. Uh, Both these rooks came over. There was the open h file now suddenly he could occupy, and he made a rover out of his other rook. Queens are traded, and not liking Matt for this endgame. Need to defend a pawn now. Be more active. He says, you know what? I'm gonna go play more games, and he does so. He goes back to the tournament, playing against Bullet Ruler over here. So let's jump back and see what's happening in the standings. 24 minutes to go. Um, Buffalo City Chess with a huge lead over there, thanks to Mr. Constantine. 110. Not just Constantine, but sorry, not just Constantine, but all of these players are doing a good job as well. The Viking King, Wazi 2004 in the cross, Bullet Ruler, Joburg Metro, Swashtir also fighting there for them. And the Sunnyside Bull, Hunstein not shying out of the lead over there. In any case, we have 1,000 rating points difference in this game. Constantine's up a pawn yet again. I think I'm going to have to drop a beat where I say Constantine's up a pawn yet again. It's just been so typical of his play so far, just so quickly picking up when pawns are supposed to drop. And I really want this knight to either coordinate here or something. Barley playing aggressively. He's got the H file down on the clock. Using a lot of time to get all of this happening. Still down a pawn. And what's that about? That's just another pawn. That's what it's about. I was thinking rook c5 just now. The queen's going to fall back after he's attacked on h7 again. And no luck for Barley. No stupid checkmates or blunders over there. You need to react to this rook immediately. And I think then you're getting mated. Constantine might just change direction. You might be lucky here as white if Constantine tries to change direction, your king gets safe, and suddenly he can't get out of your mating ideas. But it seemed like he's found a way. I was thinking king here, but same checkmate idea. King there, this checkmate idea. He found the route all the way to mate. No tricky business, no mating him with your own mating net. And he's got it. Constantine, 114. Einachi almost over that 100 mark. Bullying the lower rated players. And yeah, let's keep on Constantine's page. He's playing against Kenny Willenberg. This is the third matchup for this tournament. 20 minutes of the tournament to go. Kenny really needs to pull off this victory if he wants the Western Cape to stand any chance against this newly formed, amazingly strong Buffalo City Chess Club team. Not sure if they're newly formed, obviously. They haven't featured so often in the other tournaments. You know what? I might be wrong. It might just be a new name for a different region. I was thinking maybe b5 immediately. Just push these pawns. He says he can do that anytime he wants. Bishop takes g2. Wow, Kenny's playing great chess over here. Still's got big trouble though. And what do you do about that? I don't think there's anything to do. Well, sometimes you feel so depressed because you came up with a lot of great ideas and your opponent's just refuting all of them. What's wrong with c7 immediately? Rook d1 maybe. And no matter how you capture, there's just going to be a queen appearing on c1. Or well, rook captures, I don't know. c7 would have been winning as well. Constantine's not going to mess this up. This pawn is going to end up here, or there's going to be another rook on the 7th. He's run his king up. Wow. The king is about worth 4 pawns in the endgame when it's not being attacked. So in this case, you don't want to take this pawn immediately, but oh, I see. I've seen beautiful mating nets. If you can manage to get the king quite close to this square. He's setting it up, I think. He doesn't even need to do a lot. He can just go back for the pawn. He could also have waited, just brought the other rook in to do that. In any case, this is a lost cause for Kenny. He will continue trying, as we all know, weird things have happened in chess in terms of stalemates and draws from just odd positions. So you'll never know if you never try going for those positions. For instance, here maybe this was not something Kenny should have allowed. Constantine, though he's fine. There's still some checks to endure, but he says my king's coming here, and then there's nothing. Kenny knows it and tries something else. Just gets behind the pawn. This check is also coming, I guess. Rook behind the pawn. The pawn is marching through, and not throwing in the towel. This is actually taking longer than I'd expected it to, but the king is finally on the square. And just another check, annoying you before I make my queen. And it's time for you to throw in the towel. Sacrifice, yep, sacrifice again, but no stalemates. Keeping the rook around, trying to sacrifice on a different occasion, but now throws in the towel. One move away from checkmate, I think, or depending on where the king goes. Different, maybe king h5 is the longest way to stay alive. King here would walk into queen g7. 70 minutes left. Will anyone else be able to take down? Sorry. I wanted to go to the tournament. Constantine is just having a great time. A few odd games. Hey, Nachi as well. He's. Oh, no, no, no. They're in the pairing. I need to go. Wait, 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 wait. Why am I missing the pairing? I'm not on someone's TV. I'm missing the action. Oh, my word. Get me back to that game. Their third game for the tournament. And Constantine this time again with the black pieces. Let's just quickly see what happened. We have a Sicilian, but a closed Sicilian. And this is the position we're at. Matpon has just played b5. Wow. Spatial move, claiming some space over there. Territory. Okay. Game on. And Archie's got his typical close positions, and we're going to see him expand on the king side. This knight is here currently just as a joke. By the way, he's going to close this side of the board, and we're going to just see this king. He's going to mate black with his king. That's my guess. He's going to bring his king over here and kick black's king off of the board with his own. Oh, but maybe black is first to start that idea. Kingside attacking. No fear in Matt Pond's eyes as he goes king h1 after capturing with the g-pawn, bringing the rook to the g-file. No fear at all. Black is also fearless. This is a... Ooh, whoa. Wait, there was bishop takes e3 though, picking up a piece for the grandmaster. He trusted Matt Pond over there. Maybe I'll have to go look again. That was weird. I think bishop takes one apiece. We'll quickly do an analysis afterwards. But black definitely better over here. That knight is a bit of of a beautiful knight. Look at this. You wish you can just go to the endgame immediately. Just give me the endgame right now. This knight's going to jump back and forth and just gobble up all of these pawns. But meanwhile, you're stuck in the middle game and your position's getting blasted open. The rook is now on the second. Matt says, okay, we'll treat this as an endgame situation. Give me this position. Show me your attack. I'm just going to try and divert your attention while you attack me. Maybe I've got something. Yep, that's exactly his point. He says, I have got my king in the corner. I'm just going to hold on very tight while the storm blows over. And at the end of the day, I might be safe because of this pawn on the other side of the board. b7, rook h2, now defending it. This is always a threat. Queen takes, and Constantine needs to show his attack now. He needs to show it, or else it's tickets. Whoa! It's going to be tickets. This pawn is running through, and there's nothing to do about it. And here comes the attack. Last sequences of an attack. Going to be some crazy... Oh, rook needs to take. Oh my word, what are we going to see here? Constantine's down a rook, trying to attack with all his might. Oh, Matt says, let's just liquidate. And I'll keep my rook around. No tricky business. This pawn's coming through. And well done, Matt. This is his second time taking down this GM, and this time it was pretty convincing. It wasn't an in-game mate over there. Matt Bond is just the flippin' bullet legend. In the other game, he resigned so early. He's got a good tournament strategy as well. Look at this: 105, 108, 118. I mean, 30 minutes ago, you're probably not going to catch him, but this is as close as you're going to get. You can't waste your time in those games against him where you have got a lost position. In any case, I don't know who to look at. Brian DP playing really great over there, and he's matched up against Guillaume Constantine. Hasn't lost the pawn yet. Managed to get into the middle game. G4. This Grandmaster is launching an attack. 95, spatial move, just centralize all my pieces and blow you apart. Can expect f4, f5, f4 not immediately. Well, that's why queen e1. Don't want to lose material. You are a GM. You can't afford to lose material. And by the way, these South Africans are dropping GM Konstantin Tartlev down to 2700. He started the tournament with a higher rating, and at least they could maybe say that we got him down to 2700 by the end of the day. Uh, kudos there to Matt for taking down about 17 points or something like that. I don't know. It was a lot of points. Oh, Matt gained a lot of points because he's kind of still got a provisional rating, I think. Queen e3, yet again, not dropping material. Bishop d3 would have trapped the rook. The pawn's guarded. Centralizing the rook. When are you playing your f4 break? With the idea of f5. Not yet. We're going to improve this knight yet again. Ooh, dropping a pawn. The GM's going to be pissed off. Not happy with that. Ooh, dropping a second pawn. Not, is he? No, it's defended twice. Just don't know what the idea is with the bishop. And Brian DP playing great chess. Can he be? Well, I need to recount because I thought the GM was going to be invincible, but this is Bullet, guys. He's been showing us a remarkable performance. By far the number one over here. I'm just excited for the players that get to take him down. Unfortunately, that does not mean they're better than him. They only bested him at Bullet, which is still, at the end of the day, only Bullet. Um, but that being said, I've lost count over how many people have managed to take him down so far. It's two or three, and that has made me lose count. And Brian DP should not have allowed this time pressure. Whoa, look at this beautiful knight. He can just get rid of it if he wants to white. But Brian will be quick to recapture it. 1 second increment. It's not a lot of time. Oops, here comes mating ideas. And you might need to give the rook away just to quickly get a queen f8, but then this passed pawn is an issue. Konstantin's up a piece now. He can't play bishop takes because then queen takes and there's no mating ideas. So he might just simply play f takes. Queen's being hit. It's a sharp position, no time on the clock. Okay, you need to think quickly here. G6 might be necessary. Brian playing well. Oops, dropping a rook, and that should be all she wrote. Wow, well done. Really held his own right until the end, until he dropped that rook with a few seconds on the clock. Fantastic game there by Brian. This is just a super strong GM. And oh, can Matt possibly catch him with 10 minutes to go? I don't think so because this GM is also going to be making some points, and 15 points is a lot of points to have to run after. In any case, we have Konstantin paired against Louis Havenga for also his third time in this tournament. And well, if you're a 2000 rated player on Elite Chess Bullet, you might think you've got Bullet under control, but he's 2700s. Bullet is just a totally different game for them. By the way, this pawn is not hanging because rook e8 first, and then I'll go back for this b2 pawn. And now the pawn's definitely not hanging. Ideas of knight f5. Knight f5, and if the queen is not around, you can take this pawn on h3 and win a pawn by removing the defender. But that's in a more dreamlike scenario. For the time being, the knight is pinned to the queen. There's, by the way, no way of defending the queen with that knight if you want to move the knight away. Therefore, the knight had to be reinforced. Just be careful. You need to get your queen to a safe square very quickly now. Ooh, don't want to drop material as white. I would have been considering queen f1 to keep defense, defending my queen. In any case, he's defending his queen through rook d1, and that also saved himself from losing any material. a4. Don't know exactly what that's about. Ooh, the knight on a1 helped with a b3 shove of the pawn, but the bishop is now fixed on this d3 square, And this knight can now be captured if he wants to. Um, White is getting caged here. You need to move your rook now. Whoops, what's that about? White trying to stay active maybe? But black is now definitely better, and this knight is such a sad piece on the square. Uh, that was just opening the eyes of the rook, and white resigns. That puts Constantine at 122. 109 for Mr. Narchi, playing against Dan Frank. And let's see the team standings. I actually haven't done a thorough look at them for a while. And Buffalo City still with a great lead over there, 583, 555. I have no idea, and I don't think I've seen a team make about 30 points, even with 10 leaders in 7 minutes. So that advantage seems like it might just stay. Nelson Mandela Bay with 521 though. Also seems a bit too far from second place, and fourth place has got that same type of distance, and fifth place as well. So it seems like we're setting into the final standings. And then it becomes interesting to me, these last two places over here. Will Justin Sedibeng uh, outplay Ekurhuleni's Boomer Remover, who I think has stopped playing? So Steady Bang Union will beat Ekurhuleni Chess Union because of one player's performance. In any case, 6 minutes to go. You can see in the corner there, right above my head, over there where I'm touching now. That's where we're also looking at the game. It's just in the corner because I think keeping our eye on these last scores and last moments, even in the last minutes, is an important thing to do. And it's quite nice for playback because you can't go see how the tournament points worked or managed to grow throughout the tournament. After the tournament, you just see the last results. And for instance, that could make you wonder about Western Cape and their ability to have caught up with Buffalo City at the end of the day. They quickly got a few points there, and they're still about 30 points behind. So 30 points, if each player just wins a game, that's suddenly 20 points. Um, Very tough. With 5 minutes left, will it though? We're getting more points more quickly than any other tournament that they've had. Bullet tournament, especially in team format, these points can roll up very quickly. But Buffalo City, every time Constantine plays, that's about 4 points. And it's blitz, so he's getting in a few games very quickly. And we see there Western Cape at 565. When is Buffalo City going to hit that 600 mark? And well, 567, 571, still keeping that 30-point lead. And there's the 600 mark, an exact 30-point lead between first, second, and third place. And well, fourth place only needed 7 points less for my maths to work out. And then fifth place would have also been pretty close to my maths. So fourth and fifth place, there's a bigger gap over there. And fourth place closer to third place. So just doing that maths quickly. SBD is Sari Bartman district. And the Free State and Uferberg, as I was saying, they did not join today. Constantine Tarlev with a towering 126 points over there. 607 now for Buffalo City. And I know I'm just reading out the numbers while there's actually a pretty interesting game happening above my head. Sunnyside Bull is Hans Stein playing against Constantine uh, with material disadvantage at the moment, and looks like he's going down. Tries a little funny maneuver over there, and he's going to throw in the towel, and that will be another 4 points. There it happens for Buffalo City Chess on 6-11, and now the lead is growing. It's becoming a 40-point lead, and we have a big pairing above my head at the moment, and it's a Nachi versus Constantine. And I just want to sit back and enjoy their last game for the tournament. The game should end. There's enough time for a whole game to be played. And Inochi did well both times he had the white pieces. So he's fighting there for Joburg Metro. Uh, they're a bit far away from NM Nelson Mandela uh, AHS Union. A 20-point gap there, not the biggest. If he can get 4 more points, I guess he's on fire. I just need to see there. He's on fire. He can get a full 4 points for this game. And he's got a type of position he always likes. That knight going back to h2. And yeah, this is the type of attacks he's used to. And this is his style of play. I've always when I do the stream, I highlight that he's happy with the kingside attack when the center is closed, especially with his knights there on the king side. And his position is looking very decent. Imagine a checkmate like Kenny just had in his hands. He simply needs a knight on that e7 square, and that square shouldn't be defended for that mate to work. And it will be exactly like the mate Kenny Willenberg unfortunately had to endure. So I'm very excited and liking White's chances in the game. Psychologically, it will be very great for us to have a player that was able to take down this Grandmaster so many times and so convincingly. In any case, uh, let's just see. This is the last 2 minutes of the tournament. I don't know what the time situation is on their clock, as I'm just watching the tournament standings run down. Um, so we will only know the result after we see it. Oh, it looks like. Oh no. Okay. The Nachi's down in exchange and he's dropping the rook. But that's not a rook, that's mate. He doesn't drop pieces. Queen takes f7, queen takes h7, mate. What's the idea if queen takes rook? 625 there for Buffalo City. That margin is growing. 583 for Western Cape. It grew to a 40-point lead. It was 30 just 2-3 minutes ago, and I just want to highlight that point. By the way, how is Einachi going to break through over here with a minute left of the tournament clock? He really might consider. I must say that knight on e7 is holding black's position together. I was thinking Matpan would try the sack, but not seeing where it leads to. Bishop f6? But if that knight takes. Oh. Oh, a queen pin. And that is all she wrote in that game. Buffalo City with another 4 points there as the tournament clock runs down. 587 for Western Cape, and they seem far enough from Nelson Mandela to secure their place. And as I was saying, in Joburg Metro and Gauteng North, it seems like their place is also set in stone. So this seems like the end of the tournament. I think, well, no way one team is going to get 40 points. So I'll start with the congratulations. Unless everyone's on fire, all 10 players, and all of them win in the next 6 seconds. Just so that the universe doesn't smite me, I'll just watch then. Okay, so the tournament standings are set in stone. Congratulations to Buffalo City Chess, Western Cape Chess, Nelson Mandela Bay Chess Union, Joburg Metro, Gauteng North, SPD, sorry Bartman, I mean, and Citibank Ekurhuleni. And okay, well done to Free State and Wyferberg. Especially well done to Constantine and A. Nachi. Impeccable performance by you guys. And here's the rest of the top 10. I hope to see you guys next time for more South African chess tournaments. I really enjoyed this one. Remember to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so. And I'll see you guys soon. Thanks for watching.